Hi, my name's Alex Harden and I'm running for VP Voice. I'm running for VP Voice because I want to increase representation for underrepresented groups and increase engagement with some of the students that the union doesn't engage with very much. Well, I'm the only VP Voice candidate that's promising to work with societies to increase student representation next year. We've got some great societies that cover students from different backgrounds, different national backgrounds. We currently don't have any formal LGBTQ representation or representation for postgrads in the union under the zone structure. And so next year I want to be working with some of our societies so that we can lend some organisational support and some financial support to any sort of events that the Voice Zone can help organise so that we can represent our students better and give those groups of students an extra line into the union so that their feedback can be taken to the university. Okay, so I'm actually a postgrad student. I did my undergrad at Surrey, 2010 to 2013. And I was a student rep then, which gave me some great experience on how to represent undergrad students. I'm now doing a PhD and I'm involved with Postgrad Society, which works very closely with the union and with the university to represent its students. And so I want to take that experience and take it to a role in VP Voice. Absolutely. So one of the great things that TIE has been doing this year is working with other comparable unions in the South East network. What I want to do as VP Voice is make sure that we're building on the success of that so that we can take Surrey issues, exchange best practice between comparable unions and make sure that Surrey is represented on a national scale with issues like the Teaching Excellence Framework, which is going to lead to potential increases in fees. Issues like student housing, which is a national issue as well, and things like Brexit and the access to EU students at Surrey and to UK universities. The biggest issue I think that faces the union and the university going forward is the increases in students. The university is proposing to introduce another 3,000 or so students into the student body over the course of the next 3 to 4 years. That puts a lot of pressure on our teaching resources, our resources in the library for instance, and our learning spaces. Pressure on support services which are already stretched, like the Centre for Wellbeing, and a big one is student housing. At the moment the university is introducing new housing in Manor Park, which is due to open in the next few years, but it's only bands D, E and F, meaning that we're also risking pricing out some students from lower backgrounds. And I think the union needs to be taking a very engaged role in shaping how we represent students on those sorts of issues, otherwise we risk pricing out students and devaluing Surrey degrees. So in my experience of representing PhD students, I've worked very closely with some of the senior management team, particularly from the doctoral college, which are very keen to help support PGRs on issues such as accommodation and things like that. Some of the great things that they've done is organise open fora for PGR students, PhD students that is. And I'd like to see that reflected in the way that we represent undergrads too, by giving students an opportunity to actually meet representatives from, for instance, the accommodation office face to face to voice their views, and so that the union can actually evidence the range of student feedback, and we can use that to lobby members of senior management and all the way up the chain at Surrey. For me, I think it's a great bonus when students engage actively with the union in board meetings or, for instance, with the Voice Zone meetings. And next year I want to make sure that all course reps, for instance, have the opportunity to come along to Voice Zone meetings, and that we're actively engaging our student body by, for instance, setting up Facebook events like they do for exec meetings at the moment, and making sure that it's really clear to the student body the pathways into the union and how they can get more involved. I feel as though at the moment a lot of students, when they don't actually get actively invited or they're not already engaged with the union, union, they don't tend to take that step. So we need to make sure that we're branching out to the student body. To do that, in my manifesto, I'm promising that at least one day every month, we're going to go out talking face-to-face to students on Stag Hill campus, as well as Manor Park and Hazel Farm, to make sure that everyone is aware of the breadth of ways that they can get involved in the union, as well as how we can support them. So in my manifesto, I promise to work with both the NUS and national partners, local comparable unions, to make sure that Surrey is represented on a national scale. When it comes to working with the NUS, obviously VP Voice is one of the really key contacts between our local union and the national union. And I want to be working alongside our NUS Education Officer as well as our minority officers with the collaboration of the support zone to make sure that Surrey issues are represented at a national scale. Particularly, as I say, issues around Brexit, as well as student housing, which is affecting a whole range of universities across the UK. Of course, at Surrey, we're a sort of centre-left students' union. There will be some places like Goldsmiths Students' Union that operate quite different agendas from us. And so I think one of the key challenges, but one of the key things that we must handle in the next few years is really building on our relationships with comparable unions so that we can work together and make sure that the issues that affect all of us across the UK are being taken to the NUS and that we're holding the NUS to account so that it can work effectively for us.